He wasn't born in the U.S. To get into the Olympics, he used his brother's birth papers. Also, he was never really a U.S. citizen. What if I told you he won 5 gold medals for a different country? What if I told you that in almost 10 years, he never lost a freestyle race and set 67 world records? What if I told you that he jumped into a Stormy Lake, Michigan boat and saved 11 people who were about to die with his bare hands? Some say it was skill, while others say it was lying. What if it was something else, though? Jack Weissmuller was his name. He was the best swimmer of his time and then Hollywood's most famous Tarzan. The secret of how he was born was kept secret until after he died. Here are 10 events from his amazing life that were recorded. Let's start. First, there was the birth certificate lie that made Olympic history. Johnny Weissmuller told an easy story about his whole life. Born in Wimber, Pennsylvania, and a citizen of the United States, they can compete in the Olympics. It wasn't true. The truth was proven by his baptismal record at St. Roch Roman Catholic Church in Friorf and Romanian government records. John Weissmuller was born at 6 p.m. on June 2, 1904, in the house number 84 in what is now Timișoara, Romania. Peter Weissmuller and Elizabeth Kirsch were his parents. They were German Bonnot Swabians. When Johnny was 7 months old, his family moved to a new country. On January 14, 1905, they left Rotterdam on the SS Rotterdam. They got to Ellis Island on January 26, 1905, with $23.50 in their pocket. They made their home in Wimber, Pennsylvania. This is where things get tricky. Johnny's brother Peter Jr. was born in America on September 3, 1905, and is a naturalized U.S. citizen. Let's go to 1924. Johnny Weissmuller can swim faster than anyone else. The Olympics are calling. But there's a catch. In order to fight for America, he needs to show that he is a citizen. His dad never finished becoming a citizen. The boy Johnny was born in Romania. How to solve it? Johnny and his brother changed their names. Johnny used Peter's birth certificate from Pennsylvania. Peter said that he was the brother born in Romania, which was a family trick that kept a secret for 60 years. Not even his own kids knew. His 5 wives didn't know. He was afraid that the AOU would find out about the lie and take away his records his whole life. In the 1980s, after Johnny had died, Olympic historian David Woloczynski proved that he was born in Romania. Johnny Weissmuller won 5 gold medals for the United States, but he was never really an American citizen. There are Romanian legal records. There was truth to the lie. Number 2. Polio at age 9. By age 18, the world's fastest person. Things were hard for Johnny as a child. Johnny's father got drunk and abused the family. When Johnny was in the 8th grade, he left them. They left and never came back. That wasn't the worst part, though. At age 9, Johnny got polio, a disease that left thousands of people unable to walk or move. It destroyed muscles and ended dreams of becoming an athlete before they even started. His doctor told him to do something. Swimming as a way to heal muscles that the disease was hurting. Johnny learned that water was like coming home. When he was 8 years old, his mom gave him water wings at Fullerton Beach on Lake Michigan. He later said, "It was easier for me to learn how to swim than how to walk." He joined the Northside YMCA when he was 11 years old. To get in, he lied about his age, and he won every race. William Bill Back, a famous teacher, saw him at the Illinois Athletic Club in October 1920. That man, Back, weighed 350 pounds and was the coach of the U.S. Olympic teams in 1924 and 1928. Something caught his eye in the thin Chicagoan kid. Johnny made a promise to Backrack that he would train for a year without fighting. The coach told her, "You won't swim against anyone. You'll just be a slave, and you'll hate my guts, but in the end, you just might break every record there is." Back's exercise was very hard. Johnny, who weighs 300 pounds, would be paid a quarter to push him up Fairmount Hill in San Francisco. Afterward, he would have to kick a mile because pushing so much is bad for the knees. He said he would take Johnny to dinner if he broke a record. Johnny was hungry all the time. He broke records all the time. The 9-year-old boy who got polio became the fastest person in water by the age of 18. There are doctor records. There was a real change. Third, first person to finish in less than 1 minute. 67 marks around the world. It was July 9, 1922, at Neptune Beach in Alhama, California. He was 18 years old. Our Johnny Weissmuller. He swam the 100-meter freestyle in 1 minute and 4/10 of a second, which was the world record. Swimmers said that the wall couldn't be broken. Johnny jumped in and came up with a time of 58.6 seconds. The first person to swim 100 meters in less than 1 minute. The old record held by Kahanamoku was broken by almost 2 seconds. His best time was 57.44 seconds, which he beat on February 17, 1924. A time that lasted almost 10 years. Bakra's new method, the 6-beat double tug and crawl stroke, was the key. Johnny moved through the water like a hydrofoil, high above the surface. 6 leg beats for every 2 arm strokes, a high elbow catch, and moving the head on its own to reduce drag. Putting it in his own words, his trick is to relax while swimming at full speed. I swam for form all through my career. Because of that, speed came. He set 67 world records by the time he quit, 51 of them for himself and the rest for relays. On June 5, 1927, he set a record for the fastest 100-yard freestyle time. Alan Ford beat it in 1944. He set 24 real world records in just 1922. Everyone was checked out by the International Swimming Hall of Fame. The famous swim teacher Doc Councilman noticed that Weissmuller had this vague sense of how the water felt. That's what the Hall of Fame said. No one who saw him swim will talk about it. Say that a better swimmer has ever existed. The records are there. The power was real. For pulled 11 people from a boat that was sinking. The 28th of July, 1927, Lake Michigan. A sudden storm. When he saw it, Johnny Weissmuller was getting ready for the Chicago Marathon. A favorite passenger steamboat sank about a half-mile from North Avenue. People fell into the dark water. Scream and drown. Johnny and Peter, his brother, didn't think twice. They rowed to the sinking ship and dove into the chaos over and over again, swimming through trash, fear, and people grabbing at anything that floated. That day, Johnny Weissmuller pulled 11 people out of the wreckage by hand. 11 people who would have drowned without him. 27 people died. There were 16 kids, 10 women, and 1 man. Without Johnny and Peter, there would have been 38. Johnny was given the key to the city of Chicago. Not for his gold wins at the Olympics. Not for his records. Because they saved lives when it mattered. 2 days later, they were frightened and worn out. The winner of the Chicago River Marathon was Johnny Weissmuller. Anyhow, the accident records are out there. The saving is written down. It saved the lives of 11 people that the world's fastest diver was there for them. 5. She won 5 gold medals at the Olympics and didn't lose a race in almost 10 years. 1921, Ludi Langanger beat Johnny Weissmuller in the 440-yard freestyle race. It was one of his first big and competitions. He had more to learn. He never lost again. Johnny Weissmuller never lost a single official freestyle race from that day until he retired in January 1929. Won't lose for 7.5 years. Everyone who tried to beat him in every race and distance failed. He won 3 events at the 1924 Olympics in Paris. I won gold in the 100-meter freestyle in 59.0 seconds. He beat the defending winner, Duke Kahanamoku, by 1.4 seconds to set an Olympic record. 400-meter freestyle, gold in 5 minutes, 4.22 seconds, world record. 4x 200-meter freestyle relay, gold in 9 minutes, 53.44 seconds, world record as leader. He got 3rd place in water polo too. After he won the 100-meter race, the 7,000 people in Paris cheered for almost 3 minutes. It was clear that everyone thought Johnny Weissmuller was the best thing about the 1924 Olympics. Somebody in swimming stole the show from all the other great athletes for the first time in Olympic history. He came back even stronger at the 1928 Olympics in Amsterdam. In the 100-meter freestyle, he won gold in 58.6 seconds, beating his own Olympic record. In the 4x 200-meter freestyle relay, they won gold in 9 minutes and 36.2 seconds. That's 17.2 seconds faster than the old record set in 1924. 5 gold medals in swimming all set new records at the Olympics. Weissmuller was 6 feet 3 inches tall and weighed 190 pounds. He had what they called the ideal swimmer's physique. He has broad shoulders, narrow hips, and wings that are longer than he is tall. Crown Prince Chichibu of Japan asked him to be the head coach of their national swim team after Paris. He said no. Japan won almost all of the men's swimming events at the next Olympics, but not all of them. The Associated Press chose him by a huge majority as the best swimmer of the first half of the 20th century in 1950. There are Olympic marks. The run of wins is confirmed. 6th, Al Capone sent him a gift to say thanks. 1930, in an American hotel. Johnny Weissmuller was on tour for BVD Underwear and did swimming shows all over the country. He saw a boy at the hotel pool who looked about 10 or 11 years old. 2 tall, well-dressed guys were with the kid at all times and never left his side. They didn't say anything but watched everything. He became friends with the boy, taught him how to swim, and showed him the moves that made him an Olympic winner. The kid loved it. The 2 men just stood there and watched. A package showed up in Johnny's room soon after the boy left. A letter and a pricey watch were inside. "Thanks for taking care of Al Capone, my son." It was Albert Francis, also known as Sonny Capone. The 2 guys were Johnny Weissmuller's bodyguards, and the most famous gangster in America had just sent him a gift to say thank you. This story is on page 53 of Narda Onyx's official biography, Waterworld and Weissmuller, which came out in 1964. Johnny worked on writing it for a long time. The story is out there. The story has been written down. 7th. From a model for underwear to Tarzan. Hollywood was changed by that audition. In the summer of 1931. The Hollywood Health Club. While writing the story for Tarzan the Ape Man for MGM, Cyril Hume worked out. He saw a lot of people gathering around the pool. Everyone was looking at a swimmer do his daily laps. "Who is that?" Hume asked. "Johnny Weissmuller is that person. He won the Olympics." A screen test was set up by Hume. But there was something wrong. BVD Underwear hired Weissmuller on a $500 a week deal, which is about $8,800 today. During the slump, a large amount of money. MGM's answer. 2 of Hollywood's biggest stars, Gita Garbo and Marie Dressler, were asked to pose in BVD